Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Once Upon a Time at the Oscars. Hey everyone, and welcome to Once Upon a Time at the Oscars.
The show that takes you through every Best Picture nominee from 1927 to today and sometimes talks about Pokemon.
I'm your host, Kyle.
And I'm Ryan.
Yeah, I gave no warning to hitting record. We were in the middle of a Pokemon discussion.
Yeah. Well, I like how you say that, like we're both sitting here in our robes and like our cigars, just like discussing Pokemon.
Yeah. I say,
Scyther.
he's got blades for hands.
Scyther is probably one of my favorite Pokemon, though.
Because he's scary as hell.
This is my point. Like with Pokemon, sorry everyone, just, mute us for 5 seconds. The thing about Pokemon is that, like, a lot of people are like, well, I choose Squirtle because, like, water can kind of deduce all these things, and if you have fire, that's fine. I use Earth because they can kind of deduce that. I want the Mantis that has blades for arms. Like, how is that not destroying every single thing you throw at him?
It's true. It's like, what is Pikachu weak against? Stabbing.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, well, rock Pokemon can really hurt Pikachu. You know what else can? A blade.
Yes.
Like a giant creature with blades is what's going to do it.
Agreed.
That's why when I played Pokemon, they were like, oh, that hit wasn't that effective. I was like, his arms are made of steel. What do you mean they're not effective?
It is pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
I really hate in Pokemon when you go to use like a water attack against a fire Pokemon. It's like, it wasn't very effective. It's like, I know how this works.
I watched this man sharpen his blades for 5 hours, and you're going to tell me it wasn't that effective against this little rat creature?
It's absurd.
It's absurd.
Anyways. Today we're talking about the 2026 predictions.
Keep that. Clip that.
We are just a few days before the 98th Academy Awards, and we figured, hey, let's predict what's going to win.
Well, we've done our research, right?
Yeah.
Like you a little more so than me because you've death raced.
A little more.
Well, a lot more.
As I hobble into the room with 2 broken legs.
Yeah, well, you've done your part, buddy. You've watched these movies in totality, but we've talked about the Best Picture nominees, and those really do come up a lot in a lot of these nominations. So I do think that we're qualified to have a conversation of what we think is going to show up here. But also, we've done a lot of research for those movies to make sure our episodes do talk about those movies and honor, their history. This is kind of a silly one. Like, these are just our predictions. Like, this isn't gonna, this isn't what's gonna happen. This is what we think could happen. So we get to have a little more fun with this one.
It's like the one opportunity where we get to be wrong. And like, there's no
Well, I'm married, so like that's out the window on that.
That's true.
But this one specifically, you're right. This is where on pod I get to be wrong.
Yeah, and nobody can come back and be like, hey, you said Begonia was going to win. And we're like, no.
I said I thought it was going to win.
And I was very wrong.
Yeah, Begonia is an interesting one to kind of start with because we'll talk about that in the first category. But also, Begonia is kind of, I think a lot of people are like, oh, what's F1 doing here? It's not going to win anything. I don't think that's true. And that's not the movie that's nominated for Best Picture that isn't going to win anything. Begonia kind of is.
Do you want to get into it?
We'll get into it because I think we'll talk about all of those.
That was a long pause for me that you won't hear, but...
That's true. So this is going to be a long one, so let's go ahead and start into it. We're going to start with our writing. And writing is kind of separated into 2 separate categories. Of course, it's going to be adapted and original. Kyle, dealer's choice. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with adapted.
Okay.
So we've got Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Train Dreams.
So what are you feeling for this one, buddy?
Look, both the writing categories are, I think, we know how this is going to play out. Adapted is going to go to One Battle After Another.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I do like Begonia. I like Train Dreams a good bit. Hamnet's good. I just don't think the screenplay is that strong. So it's going to be One Battle for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Without taking a breath, we can move right into original screenplay because it kind of sits the same way.
Do you mind if I run through that?
I do, but go ahead.
Do you want to go through it?
No.
Okay.
Please.
So in original screenplay, our nominations are Blue Moon, It Was Just an Accident, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. Just a side conversation real quick, Kyle. Interesting for you that original screenplay features 2 international films?
Yeah, no, it's interesting anytime international feature makes its way into any of the other categories, including Best Picture, because I think it's great that the Academy has a willingness to recognize films outside of the United States.
Definitely. And for something like It Was Just an Accident that didn't get quite as many nominations as I thought it would, very cool to see it in an original. But with that said, I think we're both in agreement that much like One Battle After Another is taking the adapted screenplay, Sinners will be taking the original screenplay.
100%. It's been a while now, but we just watched it with the Discord watch party.
Correct.
If you're interested in future watch parties, check out patreon.com/OUTAO podcast. But that was a lot of fun, and I think that gave us kind of reignited our interest and love for Sinners.
Definitely pushed a little bit of my interest or my thoughts on some of the predictions from watching last night. I do want to go on the record, much like with F1 potentially getting a Best Picture nom here. I want to go on the record and say I think Sentimental Value has a chance, but I do think Sinners is the front runner here.
Yeah, and part of me would say that It Was Just an Accident would have a chance.
Would love to see that.
Yeah, more so I would say with the story behind it and everything that has gone on with Jafar Panahi.
Correct.
So, but even after all that, I'm like, yeah, but Sinners is probably going to take it.
To your point, it being kind of considered an above the line nomination, it makes sense that those start splitting the hairs of the two movies that are in the lead for Best Picture. So
Yeah.
I think you're right. And I also think it's deserving. It's nice when both the things can be true.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's jump on over to visual effects. Visual effects, our nominees are Avatar, Fire and Ash, F1, Jurassic World Rebirth, The Lost Bus, and Sinners. For visual effects, I think the easiest thing you can say is by looking at Avatar, Fire and Ash. Like, just, there are the most, like, you cannot say that there's a movie that has more visual effects in it than Avatar, Fire and Ash.
It is a visual effect.
It is a visual effect, and it's also the longest movie of any of these. So
Yeah, it was.
there's the most visual effects in there.
Yeah.
And they're also the most impressive. So I think it's easy to say Avatar, Fire and Ash. But I'm interested if you think that something like Sinners is going to try and pick up on that.
I think if there was any competition in this category with Avatar, it would be Sinners. But it's Avatar.
It's Avatar. I mean, and it looks great. Like, it's not a knock on the movie, but like this is kind of much like F1 with sound, and we'll get there. Like, Avatar was kind of made for this kind of category.
Yeah, and this category is interesting every year because this is where your your Marvel or your superhero films show up. Usually your big summer blockbusters are here. For example, with Jurassic World Rebirth, you end up watching, when you're doing a death race, a lot of movies that have one nominee, and it is the visual effects nominee. So these are your big blockbusters, and what bigger blockbuster was there this year than the, $1.8 billion Avatar movie?
There wasn't one. Question for you.
Yep.
Lost Bus.
Oh.
What am I missing on visual effects for that? I haven't seen this yet.
There's some fire,
Well, you know what? Avatar has Ash, too. So
and that's why it's taken it.
that's why it's taking it.
Lost Bus was like a good setup, and then just nothing of a movie.
I feel bad because now whenever movies are like, hey, here's a bus, I'm always like, you want to be Speed so bad. You want to be Speed so badly.
This is the opposite of Speed, where Matthew
is it
McConaughey is
slow?
like, I'm not going through that fire. And they're like, okay, well, we should probably leave. And eventually he gets talked into it, and he's like, okay, I'll drive fast. Spoiler for the movie. Like,
I really wish it was called Stationary now.
stationary.
He just stays in place.
Slow.
You want to talk through our next nomination?
Yeah,
Or
next
category?
up we have Sound. This is F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Surat. This is one of the only categories where I have not seen everything yet. By the time this episode comes out, I will have completed the death race, and I will stutter through every sentence here on out.
Same.
But I have not seen Surat yet.
One stutter after another. It is from here on out. I haven't seen Surat either. That's the only one in this category that I haven't seen just yet. But from everything that I've heard, I think that the sound is in here because music is such a large part of Surat.
Yeah.
I don't anticipate that it is enough to set it over the bar, or that it uses sound quite as intricately as F1 does. So to me, this is F1's category.
Incredible mistake you've just made.
Why is that?
Sinners is going to take this category.
Sound?
Listen, do you remember when we were watching it just last night
Yeah.
with our wonderful Discord community?
Yeah.
And the amount of times that Mari gave a shout out to the sound production and the way that these haunting, creepy sound effects just integrated so perfectly with the music.
Yeah.
And you think
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Wow, crazy. I'm putting Sinners.
That our first
Wild.
split. Wow. No, so it's F1. I mean, Sinners. Look, I think that Sinners does a great job, and Mari's actually absolutely correct. I'm also going to stutter from here on out.
Perfect.
She's 100% correct. Like the intention is there, and it's very well shot and very well executed. But it's the blending and it's the editing of sound, and this is what F1 was brought in for. So F1 is going to clean up on this one. I'm almost positive on that, so I feel really confident with this. And also, Sinners does not need the padding with this kind of award.
Listen, that is not what we're doing here. We're not
I
saying,
agree.
hey,
that's what we're not doing that. The Academy is.
somebody make sure that Sinners gets its little snack before Best Picture shows up.
Sinners is like, all these above the line nominations, yum, 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 yum. And someone's looking at F1 and they're like, well, throw him a little bone or something.
Yeah.
That's what the Academy does. So
I am throwing
I am
the
betting
bone
on that.
Past F1. I'm throwing
You're
the bone
saying who
directly to
deserves
Sinners.
the nomination, and I respect you for that. I'm saying who's going to win.
I'm saying who's going to win.
Great. We'll see who's
Fine.
right.
Fine. What are we, 11 minutes in and I already am mad? Okay. Moving on to animated short.
Animated short. I got you on that. So with animated short, our nominees are Butterfly, Come Come My Baby. Can't say that.
Oh.
I'm going to start over.
Did you know that's they borrowed the music from a Red Hot Chili Pepper song?
Did they
for that?
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a
You know what that is?
pretty little ditty.
You know what that is, though?
What is it?
That's Crazy Town.
Oh my God.
I know. Can you believe what I just did? We're keeping all that in there. Butterfly, Forever Green, The Girl Who Cried Pearls, Retirement Plan, something Kyle and I are looking into right now,
Yeah.
and The Three Sisters. I have not seen any of these. Have you done this yet?
Yes, I've watched all of these.
Great. I'm going to rely on you, and we'll see if I swerve.
Please know that my laugh is not from you not having seen these. It's the
It was
way
very
you
much
delivered the.
It was-
I haven't seen any of this.
It was very much you being like a, ha, 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 you poorly man.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like watching the shorts every year. The live action shorts
Mm-hmm.
can be very depressing, so those are hard.
I have heard that.
The animated shorts are a nice little, this is fun.
Back to our Letterboxd rating.
Back to our Letterboxd ratings. It's hard for me to predict what's actually going to win. I think what I would like to see win is The Three Sisters.
Okay.
It's a very funny movie about three sisters that live on a desert island, and a very burly sailor man shows up, and all three of them are smitten immediately, and they're like, oh, we're gonna hook up with this dude. The whole movie is them like taking turns wooing this man, and it's just silly, goofy. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if it will win, but that's what I hope to see win.
Okay. I'll rock with you on that. That sounds good. I do want you to know that I'm going against my better instincts here, because I did notice that Butterfly is produced by a production company called Sacre Bleu. So part of me does want to see that win. But I'll rock with you on Three Sisters.
For what it's worth, I could see Butterfly winning as well.
If I missed the opportunity to give a win to or a prediction to Sacre Bleu Productions, you know what I'm going to say.
Polly Don't is the production company.
That's true.
That's fun too.
You just took away my French joke that I made there. You know what I'm going to say, but okay. That's fine. Live action. We have Butcher's Stain, A Friend of Dorothy, Jane Austen's period drama, The Singers, and Two People Exchanging Saliva. I've heard of The Singers. Have you seen all of these nominees?
I have not seen two of these.
Is The Singers one of them?
It is one of them that I've not seen.
I've heard something really good about The Singers. I don't know if that's indicative of it going to win, but what are your thoughts on what you have seen?
From what I have seen, Two People Exchanging Saliva is such a cool premise, and it's so artfully done. It's kind of, I don't want to say like a Black Mirror episode because there's no technology displayed in it, but it is like this very strange futuristic society where you pay for your pleasures via slaps. So you get slapped in the mouth for like kissing somebody. It sounds really weird, and the movie, like, it's so much better than what I'm describing, but it's such a unique concept. It's filmed in black and white. You kind of spend the whole 39 minutes or whatever it is piecing together little clues of like, oh, so that's how things work in this society. And I think the message about like consumerism and pleasure and things like that is so well done in this movie. More so than I think kind of the more obvious theming of a lot of the other ones, like Butcher Stain, is good, but it's very on the nose in its theming. and kind of feels like oh, I've seen this before.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me. I mean, The Singers is on Netflix, so very easily accessible for me. Canal Plus did do Two People Exchanging Saliva, and they're not unknown to this kind of category, so I'll rock with you on that.
Yeah, and The Singers, I believe, is one that premiered at the Atlanta Film Festival, which is pretty cool.
That also might be another reason I've heard so much about it.
Could be.
Okay, cool. That sounds good to me. So we're going to rock with the Two People Exchanging Saliva. Strange sentence that I'm sure won't be taken out of context. Kyle, do you want to take us to our next category?
Production design. Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, and Sinners.
This one's interesting.
It is. I feel like yesterday when we were watching Sinners, we were like, I could see a sweep. And now that I'm looking again, I'm like, okay, but I could also see, like, to me, I almost feel like Frankenstein is the big one here.
It is. To me, it's Frankenstein or Sinners. That's the two of this. I think Sinners is worthy of it. I think that I told you, I think in our Sinners episode, like going back and before watching the movie again, it had been like, 10 months since I had seen Sinners, but I knew the layout of the Juke Club.
Yeah.
Like I knew like where the rooms were and like how to access everything. So it felt like production design was really strong on that one. But I mean Frankenstein.
They built a ship.
And I really they may not have built the exterior of a lot of locations for that movie, but they built the interior. And that's something that Del Toro prides himself in. So I do think it's going to be Frankenstein here. Frankenstein is going to have a presence at the Oscars. That's just going to happen. And it's going to be below the line. So we got to get used to seeing it here. And I think production design is one of the easiest sweeps for it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's one of those things where I'm watching the movie and I'm like, wow, this isn't really my style, but you did build it.
You did.
So I got to give you some credit there.
Right, which is like bare minimum. But at the same time, like they built a lot with Frankenstein. With Sinners, it is a lot of, cool, you built the Juke Club, and then otherwise, you brought up the town sequence when we watched our screening of it last night, and I agree, I love that. They probably built that town too, so it's worthy of it, but I do think Frankenstein's going to pick up.
Just the scale of Frankenstein alone, I think, is what does it.
And again, this is when the Academy does a little bit of like, Frankenstein's just sitting in the corner and doesn't have any wins, so that's where this will pick up.
So many of these awards are just like, somebody shut that dog up.
Yeah, now you're picking it up. Do you mind if a white boy speaks a little music real quick?
Never.
Appreciate that. So let's start with original song. With music, we have... original song. We have Dear Me from Diane Warren, Relentless. Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. Have you heard of this? It's a good one. I Lied to You from Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verdi. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams.
Can you give us a taste of that one?
Yeah, so Train Dreams from Train Dreams. It's interesting. It sounds a lot like Badlands by Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
It goes, Train Dreams.
Oh, God, so good.
It's great. And I lost my wife and my... Yeah, it continues. It's good.
Solid.
You should check it out.
I like your version the best.
I appreciate that. All respect to Nick Cave, who I'm sure did a great job, but is not what I did. What are we doing? Like, I know that we would love to see I Lied to You, and I think if we were including the scene that the movie or the song is from, it's I Lied to You.
Man.
But it's golden.
Yeah, and it's so wild because that I Lied to You scene, like I'm pausing when I'm speaking because I just keep playing it back in my head and I'm like, wow.
It is very good, but I have a controversial opinion that I don't think it's the best song.
I think that's fair. I think like there's a radio edit version that I've been listening to that it's not the movie.
To me, it's Traveling.
Oh.
Like the way the Miles Caton hits that, like, Traveling.
Yeah, I do like that.
And I also love the, we're getting in the weeds, I love how Buddy Guy has his interpretation at the end of the movie of Traveling.
Man.
So to me, it's Traveling. That's the song from that movie. But I understand, like, it's the Lied to You sequence, and that song is great.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can't touch Golden.
And that's what it is. It's just the phenomenon that has become K-pop Demon Hunters and Golden.
Something I kind of like to talk about real quick, and if we end up cutting that, that's okay. But can we talk about how K-pop Demon Hunters is getting a Criterion release?
Yes.
Like you pointed out when we talked about this on text that it's not the first Netflix release. It's actually not the first like movie in this announcement that's a Netflix release, Frankenstein as well.
Right.
But it is the first time that a phenomenon like this has been picked up for physical media. And on top of that, Criterion bringing in like K-pop Demon Hunters from Netflix. Some people are upset. I don't understand that because this is the way that kids get into physical media.
Yes.
Like, this rocks. There's going to be a bunch of kids that are like, I really want to own the DVD. They're going to say DVD. I want to own the disc. How do I own the disc? And they're going to end up owning a Criterion release.
And that's so cool.
This rocks. It also has opened up the world to a ton of memes of people like already saying, here's what the Criterion cover of Pop Demon Hunters is going to look like. And it's some artsy thing that's very funny. But so cool. And just felt like a fitting time to mention that. So, yeah, great. And the song's amazing. So it's golden.
Yeah, it is golden.
In more ways than one. So let's talk about original score. We can say the other nominees, but so it's going to be Begonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, and Sinners. Pause. Do you want me to say the composers?
Just for who you think's going to, like, you don't have to list them.
So of those nominees, I think we are both in agreement. While we love the Johnny Greenwood score, while I love the Johnny Greenwood score.
Oh, I do too.
Great. While we love the Johnny Greenwood score, it is Sinners. And it's going to be Ludwig Göransson for Sinners.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you. Jerskin Fendrix for Begonia and Johnny Greenwood for One Battle, both of them, I love those scores. I go running now, jogging.
You have a path right outside of your house.
I do. It's great. I play the bicycle, the grand bicycle. I run faster when I do that. It's so good.
See, it's funny. I feel like you could do the same thing with Johnny Greenwood, though.
You could. I haven't yet, but I will. But I'm just saying, like, I love both of those scores so much. But yes, again, our watch party last night with Sinners just cemented the idea that that score is phenomenal.
It's worth pointing out that, like, Maddie, Tiff, Kate were all coming out of the woodwork within like 5 minutes of the movie starting and being like, this score, what is going on?
Yeah.
Because it really does just kind of erupt, and oh my God, it's beautiful. And it's kind of sci-fi, but it's also like, it feels a little science fiction-y, but also you can hear the emotion, you can hear the Southern inspiration in it. It's everything you want it to be.
Yeah, it blends like modern sounds with like of the era music.
And that's the thing, because I think some people, the joke is like, well, Hans Zimmer has a style and he just applies that to every movie he goes to. Ludwig Göransson, it really does feel like, well, what does this movie need from me?
Yes.
And he's adapting so well. So, I mean, yeah, I know he's cleaned up a lot with like Oppenheimer, and he had a nomination or a win before that too. Actually, was that for Wakanda Forever? I think he won for Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
And then won for Oppenheimer. So he's going to win again, and it's going to be for original score for Sinners because, oh my God, does he deserve it?
Dude, Pale Moon.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm just like in my seat, like.
I know.
you couldn't see me yesterday, but at home the whole time we were watching, I was just like completely bopping and jamming arms.
Pale moon.
I look like when Kermit's really vibing with a song.
You know what's funny? When I dance, I look like Kermit, but I also look like Kermit in the Talking Heads Once in a Lifetime.
I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. It's him wearing the giant suit, and he's doing.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll send it to you. It's fine. Kyle, what's our next category?
Next up, we have makeup and hairstyling. Listed here is Frankenstein, Coco, Sinners, The Smashing Machine, and The Ugly Stepsister.
Shout out to The Ugly Stepsister, but real quick, you have not had the chance to talk about Coco since you've seen it.
This movie is awesome. It's one of my favorite films that I've done for the Oscar Death Race specifically. It's very long, and I kind of thought it was going to be a bit of a drag, but it's the story of a Yakuza boss's son who gets involved in kabuki theater, and it's like a 40-year story.
Like Cimarron.
Very similar to Cimarron, which will come out very soon, and you guys will hear that. But it's like his story of just being involved in this art form. So a lot of the makeup is that kabuki face paint makeup, the hairstyling, of course. It's such a good movie. It's so good. What
do you think of its chances in this category?
This is a tough category because I feel like Frankenstein is the big, like, look at the makeup and hair, but I also don't like it. Sinners has some cool period piece hair and makeup, some very cool vampire makeup, but you can't discredit Coco, who looks fantastic. The Ugly Stepsister and its horror makeup is awesome. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't.
Man,
I'm a little not squeamish. That's not the right word because I love horror. I'm a little like weary of how gross it might be.
You enjoy this substance?
I did.
This will not bother you as much as that.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm into it.
Maybe one part will.
I'll say I tried looking at you, but I realized the pop filter's in the way. So just know that I did do like a quick stare. So makeup and hairstyling, I think there's a possibility that this could swerve,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to go Frankenstein because you have to look at Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
You have to look at Jacob Elordi.
I don't like it.
I understand, but you have to acknowledge the performance that he's giving with the makeup that he is applied to him across his entire body. Like it is going to be Frankenstein for this, and I think this is what Frankenstein was put here for. But I will acknowledge that everyone else is very deserving of this, and there is a chance that Sinners could pick this up with the excitement around this movie as much as there is. And I also think Ugly Stepsister has an option because of it's the shock value, right? We talk about how supporting actor and supporting actress always open the show to kind of set the tone. I think that this kind of award, Ugly Stepsister could take it and set that kind of tone. But I'm not going to overthink it, and I am going to go with Frankenstein.
I think I'm going to go with Sinners.
Okay.
I honestly would almost pick Kokohu for this as far as what is truly deserving, because it really is a beautiful film.
Yeah.
And so much of that can be accredited to the Kabuki theater makeup and everything. But I don't think that members of the Academy have gone out of their way to see this international picture that received one nomination.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't think that if you are squeamish or worried about that, a bunch of people went and saw The Ugly Stepsister.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with just like what's popular and deserving. The vampires and everything looks great in Sinners. I think the hype train is kind of going to take it for this one.
It could. You're onto something. I think that might happen. But I've learned making these predictions that when you overthink something, that tends to not happen.
Yeah.
And I'm finding myself overthinking on this, so I'm just going to go with what I originally thought would take this.
That's fair. That's fair.
So let's talk about international feature films. So excited about this. So your nominees are The Secret Agent from Brazil, It Was Just an Accident from France, Sentimental Value, Norway, Surat, Spain, and The Voice of Hind Rajab, Tunisia. So you've seen all five.
I have not seen Surat.
Oh, that's right. You haven't seen Surat yet. Okay.
That's
my
the
bad.
only one.
So you've seen 4 of the 5. I've seen 3 of the 5. You've seen Voice of Hind Rajab. I have not.
Yeah.
What do you think of its chances of it taking the win on this?
So I think the win has to go to one of the 2 films that were also nominated for Best Picture, being The Secret Agent or Sentimental Value, which I would be totally understanding of either one of those winning. However, I do want to say that The Voice of Hind Rajab was a very simple movie in its presentation. It's kind of like a, how would you describe this movie? House of Dynamite, how they're kind of in one like command center.
Yes.
For that. Voice of Hind Rajab is very similar. There's a lot of real phone calls being used, and it is a heartbreaking movie, but a very, very important movie.
Real footage that's bled into the scenes as well, right?
Yeah, there's a great moment at the end where someone is holding a phone and filming the reactions of everybody in the room, and the camera is placed behind the phone so that you can see both the actors on screen, but also their real life counterparts through the phone. And it's such a perfect, like, shifting focus back and forth between the two and really grounds you in this true story. So I think everybody needs to see this movie.
Worth pointing out, it's now on demand, so you can watch it at home now, which might be what I do.
It's a heavy movie, but
I'm sure.
Again, I think everybody should watch this movie.
Pumped. But you don't think that it has a chance outside of what's present in the Best Picture nominations?
No, unfortunately not. I think it is kind of a toss-up between The Secret Agent or Sentimental Value.
I would say that third place It Was Just an Accident.
I was going to say, if there was a sleeper here, that would be it.
And I would like to see it because I really enjoyed my time with It Was Just an Accident. But I'm going to swerve a little bit from what we thought originally. I have written down the letters S-E, and I'll decide later. But I am going to rock with Sentimental Value on this.
Nice.
Having seen Secret Agent, I agree with you. Even though I enjoyed it, I don't really understand what we're doing here. The Brazil Collective, like, yes, they are going to push for their movie, but Sentimental Value has so many nominations.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot of admiration now. Admiration now. And it's getting a lot of awards. So I do think that Sentimental Value could push here. It is between the two. I think that's deadline. Like, there's no question about it. It's between those two. But I am going to go Sentimental Value on this.
I think I am as well.
Okay.
I think Secret Agent is ending up as kind of a divisive movie for the people that were excited for it, and that might sway the votes there a little bit.
Agreed.
So, moving forward, we have film editing, F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinners.
I'm interested in what you think on this, because we also talked last night in the screening room that Sinners had some great editing. I talk a lot about the scene with Cornbread, where he is asking for payment when he's standing outside, and the camera and the way that cuts, and it feels very like, you know,
gimme.
The gimme, exactly. And not even just the hand motion, but the face he makes where he's kind of like leaning his head like, you gonna pay me?
Yeah.
You gonna reach out here? And the editing in that does feel great. But I think film editing, and I'm just going to speak as the audience real quick, audience, if you'll allow me. Sometimes I wonder what film editing is. And I wonder what we're looking for when we award something like film editing. Can you shine any kind of light to what that might look like?
I also think this is something that I'll struggle with when I'm sitting here looking at 5 movies and I'm like, which one did it better? After working on film sets for the past couple years, I find that it helps if I remind myself that movies are not filmed in a sequence, and they're certainly not filmed like an example with Sinners. There's a moment where the brothers Smoke and Stack are talking inside the juke joint, interspliced with Remick and Haley Steinfeld outside the juke joint having a conversation. Those aren't filmed anywhere near each other. They are filmed as separate scenes, and they have to be deliberately edited together to form a cohesive narrative that not only delivers the story properly, but also maintains theming across that entire sequence. I think that's a great example there for that scene, without going into complete detail, of maintaining like theming and story all at once. Other highlights, of course, are like interesting transitions. I can't think of a single one now, but you know, you're focused on like a breakfast plate and then it turns into a car tire driving away for the next scene.
Sure. The last episode of Pluribus, on the season finale of Pluribus, rather, has a lot of examples that I brought up to you of the editing of that. So I see what you're saying. Let me ask you this. The sequence in Sinners where Smoke and Stack are standing outside of the property they're about to buy and they hand each other a cigarette.
Yes.
That's done with Michael B. Jordan through a sequence of, it's a metronome.
Oh,
That's
right,
playing.
yeah.
And they don't use body doubles or anything. It's actually filmed 2 separate ways and then edited together. Does that fall under film editing to you or visual effects?
No, I would probably...
I consider that film editing because it's not like they didn't use visual effects. They just layered
Yeah, but I think because you're using two
shots.
I wish I knew terms better. It's like a composite image.
Okay.
I think it would kind of fall into the realm of visual effects.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it really is the editing of scenes together rather than a layering.
Yeah, I think so.
So with that then, that's where I thought Sinners might have the pickup.
I see.
So now I'm not as sure.
Right. So to really get behind this, I feel like it's Sinners or One Battle After Another.
Right.
I don't know. I most recently watched Sinners, so for me, I'm like, oh yeah, 100% it's Sinners. It's great. But One Battle After Another is a powerhouse.
I'm going to go One Battle.
I think I am too.
And the reason why is I'm just going to cite the raid on Sensei Sergei's dojo and his home. And that whole sequence of the way that they edit those scenes together, it feels like that really ties the tension in that really well. There's things that are done very well in all of these movies, really. Certainly in Sinners. But I feel like the tension that you have to keep, oh my God, one of the final sequences of One Battle After Another, the
car chase.
The car chase.
Yeah.
The editing in that.
So important.
So important. So I think I'm going to go One Battle on that.
I agree.
Also, you can cut this if you want. I don't think you should. Are you writing One Battle After Another, or are you writing Oba with me too?
I'm writing One Battle After Another.
I'm writing Oba.
I'll get confused. My handwriting is so bad, I'll be like, Oba, did I mean to say F1?
I forgot. I was like, oh, do you need glasses? You're like, no, I just have horrible handwriting.
I'm just like, ah.
No, it's definitely like Avatar, Fire and Ash, the Three Sisters, Oba.
Yeah, my handwriting is like the little kid in the ring that's just drawing a black circle. That's me.
Yeah, I look forward to your loved ones looking back on all your documents and being like, was he okay?
Nope.
Nope. All right, let's talk about documentary. Documentary, we'll start with short subject. We have All the Empty Rooms, Armed Only with a Camera, The Life and Death of Brent Renaud, Children No More, Were and Are Gone, The Devil is Busy, and Perfectly a Strangeness. Have you seen all of these?
I have seen all of these.
Tell me about them. What do you think?
So I think for me, there was a clear winner. The Devil is Busy is about a abortion clinic in Atlanta, actually.
Oh, okay.
And it's set up like the woman who opens the clinic every morning. You meet her. You see exactly what she goes through every day. She checks the perimeter to make sure there's nobody hanging around. She checks every single office in the building to make sure there's nothing going on. Nobody is snuck in. Nobody's waiting to do anything nefarious or harmful. And she's just talking about how difficult this situation is for everyone that shows up to the clinic, everyone that works at the clinic, because there are protesters outside every single day. She's had conversations with the protesters. She knows how dangerous this area, this location can be for people that need these services and this help. And then the perspective shifts to like a doctor or the secretary that schedules appointments and things. And you kind of see everybody talk about what this is like on a day-to-day basis. And I think it serves its purpose the best from all of these. All the Empty Rooms is about visiting the rooms of victims of school shootings. Very emotional, of course. But I think The Devil is Busy really gives you, like, here's everything that you need to know.
It's worth noting that this is available through HBO. So
Yeah.
I believe it's on HBO Max to watch. So I will be doing so based on your recommendation here. So you would say The Devil is Busy.
That's what I would say. I think it's the one that delivers its message with the most impact, for sure. I do want to shout out Perfectly Estrangeness.
I like the name.
I kind of feel bad for doing this because all the other four nominees definitely have a message and a point in their themes and their stories. Perfectly Estrangeness, they basically attached a couple of GoPros to 3 donkeys and let them wander around for 17 minutes. That's the whole thing. I don't know how it got nominated. And there's a part of me that leading up to watching it, I'm like, guys, stop being so harsh. Then I watched it. And let's talk about documentary feature. Crazy.
Perfectly a Stranger sounds like a perfect name for that movie. I'm interested in checking it out. So let's talk about documentary feature. So that's going to be The Alabama Solution, Come See Me in the Good Light, Cutting Through Rocks, Mr. Nobody Against Putin, and The Perfect Neighbor. Now this one's interesting because The Perfect Neighbor is very, very well known. Netflix known for its true crime documentaries, but The Perfect Neighbor was a little bit above that, was a little bit like beyond just this is a true crime documentary on Netflix. And it had a lot of visibility to it, because of the very, 3 things. 1, because of the very serious subject matter and how relevant it is today. 2, because of the very serious subject matter. 2, because of how timely it is to today. And 3, because it was entirely captured through the perspective of these the body cams of the police that were involved in this. So the story is told almost entirely through that, if not through narrations from interviews that were done from the investigation. So no interviews were done for this documentary. It was all captured through recorded footage or interviews that were held. It's hard to say that you enjoyed something like The Perfect Neighbor with how dark it is, but I did very much enjoy my time watching that and getting to know that story a bit more intently. But I know you've seen the rest of these features, so I'm interested in your thoughts.
Yeah, The Perfect Neighbor is, to me, exactly the type of thing that Netflix pushes and promotes.
Correct.
It is a great documentary, but it does present itself kind of in that true crime nature of, hey, here's the setup, here's things getting progressively worse, and here's the climax.
Right.
Are you heartbroken? Yes, perfect. Like and subscribe. And that sounds like I'm condoning the movie or whatever, but it is good. I just think it's kind of formulaic. And I think that type of documentary that utilizes body cam footage or surveillance footage is becoming more and more common and more popular. Last year, I believe, there was the documentary short incident that was very similar. It was all traffic cam footage and body cam footage. And that really hit hard. And I think for me personally, the structure of this and just it being, another body cam documentary, it kind of lost its
appeal
and its power a little bit in its presentation. That being said, I think that all 5 of these nominees are fantastic. Mr. Nobody Against Putin, story of a Russian school staff. He does like the filming of events and things, and suddenly they have to change all of their curriculum to be very pro-war propaganda. Fascinating that he was able to film what he did, escape secretly from Russia, and then turn it into a documentary. Cutting Through Rocks is the story of a woman in Iran who runs for a political position, and she's the first woman to do it. Very inspiring, very sad, but like also a great story. The Alabama Solution is like the prison system in Alabama and the corruption and just the mass over, how do you say it? Not overpopulation.
Abundance?
It's like overcapacity.
Yes.
Really is what it is. That was phenomenal for me. Come See Me in the Good Light was my favorite documentary. I think it's beautiful. It is the story of spoken word poet Andrea Gibson, who passed away, I believe, just last year from cancer. It's her story of finding out she has terminal cancer and just kind of taking each day that she has for what it's worth and enjoying it and living it to the best of her ability. It's beautiful.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the most important topic right now when it comes to the documentaries, but it's the one I enjoyed the most. So this is kind of me saying, I'd like it to win. I don't know if it will. So
to me, from everything I've heard, I believe that it's somewhere between The Perfect Neighbor and The Alabama Solution, just in terms of, I don't want to say popularity, but
like relevance in a way.
Sure. Yeah. Relevance and power, maybe.
Yeah.
I am going to say The Perfect Neighbor just because I do think that it is the popular choice here. Again, that feels weird to say, but it's definitely the most well-known feature in this.
Totally. It's totally fair.
And it's Netflix, and Netflix knows what it's doing with those. So I am going to say Perfect Neighbor, but I'm very interested in checking out Come See Me in the Good Light.
Yeah, it's very good.
And Alabama Solution, which is also, that's on HBO, I believe.
Yep.
Come See Me in the Good Light. Apple?
Yes.
Okay. Interested. I have both, so I'll check that out. Costume design. You want to take that one?
We have Avatar, Fire, and Ash, which I still don't fully understand.
We'll have a conversation about that.
Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, and Sinners.
Another interesting one that we're going to have some conversations about. You're, of course, at the top of this, mentioning that for costume design, of course, let's get this out of the way. Of course, they are designing outfits for what everyone's going to wear in this digital world. They aren't physically creating them.
Right.
They aren't physically sizing them to be like of this person's exact size. They just kind of match it to the body type in the image that they're creating. So is it truly costume? It is designing, but it's not the physical side that we see in these other four nominees.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a question of how that's going to work. I don't think that it means that it shouldn't be nominated. I just think that it does mean that it's not going to win, because it is kind of a question mark of like, well, do you have like a physical person who's there making these in real time, not just saying, here's what it should look like and let's make that digitally, but like physically making it?
Right. And I imagine that someone is making physical versions of these costumes to at least serve as reference points.
Potentially.
To get, textures and things correct. I have nothing to back that up. There's probably a great little behind the scenes making thing for Avatar that I'm just unaware of and honestly don't have a huge ton of interest for.
We'll wait until the Blu-ray comes out.
And then I'll borrow it from you.
Where am I going to borrow it from?
Uh-oh. But yeah, beyond that, I'm thinking Sinners or Frankenstein might be the runner-up here.
Yeah, I think Hamnet, it makes sense, but that's about where it stops. I don't think like any of the costume design was like, wow, it's breathtaking. Like it just feels fitting. Obviously, a lot of what Elizabeth wears in Frankenstein makes a lot of sense why that would show up. I think about the costuming for Victor's mother, specifically in the beginning, like when she's wearing that red dress. Like there's just a lot to it.
Right.
I don't know if it falls under costume design, but the Angel of Death, I really enjoy the presentation of.
Yeah, it's probably visual effects.
Yeah, probably visual effects there, but there's a lot going on in Frankenstein that you can understand. Okay, I see what they're doing here. I also think that we haven't really touched on this. The costuming for the creature, I thought was really great. I love the hood. I love the jacket. Like that just feels very, like it's not what you think of when you think of Frankenstein, but I really like that look for GDT's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
So, but Sinners, like I think Sinners, you have to have a conversation about it. Marty Supreme it's realistic. It's a lot like Hamnet, where it's like, sure, I think that's what it looked like back then.
Yeah.
But it's not like remarkable on its own.
Right.
Sinners, I think, is somewhere between that, where it does make sense, but it does look very good on them. I'm going to specifically call out Smoke and Stack. I think the color of their outfits that they're wearing, it feels very much like there's a reason that Smoke has blue on and Stack has red. And I love the theming of that for each other. I also love the vest that Stack adorns when he's in a vampire, or he becomes a vampire. Mm-hmm. I think there's some costuming there that I do really like, but I do think it's Frankenstein.
I lied to you.
Yeah.
That whole sequence.
Oh, man, you're right.
I'm putting Sinners.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Sinners. Oh, man, you're right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, if you're taking every other moment from Sinners, I might agree with you for Frankenstein, but the I Lied to You sequence just involved so many different costumes representing so many different cultures, so many different periods throughout history. You can't beat that.
Well, and on top of that, the film ends in 1992.
Yeah.
So we have a whole nother generation
That's
of
true.
clothing featured on Mary and Stack. So yeah, great call. I'll rock with you on Sinners. I think that's a smart call.
Thanks, man.
I'll take cinematography up on that.
Yeah, it's your turn, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
For cinematography, we have Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Train Dreams. How cool would it be to see Train Dreams take a win on this?
Train Dreams.
And it lost out on original song.
Yeah.
So, that's too bad. Yeah, so cinematography, I mean, look, Marty Supreme and Frankenstein, maybe? Cool, I kind of see the nomination here.
Not interested.
But it really is One Battle, Sinners, Train Dreams, to me.
Yes.
These have the most interesting bits of cinematography. While I like the filming of One Battle After Another, and I think that the cinematography of Sinners is really beautiful, and I think is in second place, I think it's Train Dreams.
Wow.
I think that what he's doing with digital is... There's a reason that when we talk about digital, we kind of talk about David Fincher, and we're like, well, he actually knows how to film in digital. Mm-hmm. I think that Train Dreams does a really similar thing where Clint knows what he's doing with this camera, and he knows what he can do. And I think the cinematography of that is beautiful. I think giving it to Sinners, again, makes sense, but it's a little bit more like, well, look, we're already here. Why not just give it to Sinners again? But the things I'm thinking of specifically are the nature, capturing the car going down in between the cotton fields. Mm-hmm. That was, I mean, the final shot of Sinners before the post-credit sequence. Loved that. I think that's a great shot. There's a shot where Remick is seeing the sun for the final time, and there's a lake where you see the sun coming over the horizon.
Yeah.
That shot is beautiful. There's great cinematography in it, but I feel like the movie itself is composed more in Train Dreams.
Train Dreams presents itself more as still images a lot of the time of beautiful paintings.
Sure.
Which, that is not to discredit it at all.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right now. I know what you're about to say, and I see it. I understand. You're gonna hit me with the costume design.
I lied to you.
Yeah, and the one take sequence of that.
The tracking shots in Sinners are phenomenal.
I'll go a step further. I think the tracking shot in the town following
Grace.
Yes. Well, first it's her husband, it's her daughter.
It's like a handoff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's her daughter to Grace, and then it's a handoff to Grace, and then Grace comes back to the shop. That's also fantastic. So it's interesting. I want to say it's one of the two, and I think Train Dreams does actually have a shot here.
I agree with you.
But
there's
a lot more impressive feats that are done in Sinners with the camera work.
You remember when Smoke sends Preacher Boy to go check on Stack, and it's that one take tracking shot with comedy interlaced in that?
Well, it's the one take camera shot, but the camera moves a lot. It's the camera following him alongside, but when it gets to the place, it still turns to look at Delroy Lindo.
Right.
And you point out that line where he's like, "Oh, he busy, huh?" And then it
funny.
comes right back to Preacher Boy. So yeah, it's great that the camera's moving, but also just not just the physical movement, but the turn to the characters and then back to another character and then the movement again.
It's everything. Pale, pale moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with you on Sinners. I do think Train Dreams has a real shot in this.
Look, and we can't discredit, again, the car chase sequence in One Battle After Another. I do think it's Sinners, One Battle, then Train Dreams.
I might be Sinners, Train Dreams, One Battle.
I love that idea.
But I agree on that 3.
Yeah.
I agree on that 3. You're right. I mean, the camera work at the end of one battle, it could push it over, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
This is where things get tough, I think.
Yeah.
With all of these nominees, mostly because like you haven't seen animated shorts, so like those are pretty easy for you. But let's.
But now we can actually have like conversations and like a little more informed.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go to the next one.
Next up, we have costume design. Nope. Next up, we have casting. For the first time ever, we have the casting award category.
And I feel like we've done a lot of our discussion in this in the episodes leading up to this. So
Totally.
we should be pretty prepared for this.
For casting, we have Hamnet,
Forecasting.
Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, and Sinners.
One of these things just doesn't belong. Secret Agent, cool to hang out. Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle, and Sinners. I think those are the 4 where
Yeah.
I see what we're doing. Marty Supreme, I like the rogue style of the casting here, where it feels a little bit more like we kind of talk about safety casting, right? Like we look for people who look like they live in this world, and that can lead to some unconventional choices. We talked about, the guy from the Knicks video,
Right.
his appearance here, Abel Ferrara, Tyler the Creator, Fran Drescher, a movie that we haven't really talked about this. There was a movie that came out last year that starred Tyler the Creator, Mr. Wonderful, and Fran Drescher in one movie.
That's true.
Kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
So a little nuts for that. But I don't think that that's the best use of the cast here. I think that the cast really does come down to maybe in reverse order, Hamnet, Sinners, One Battle. Maybe One Battle, Sinners. I think it's between One Battle and Sinners.
Well, and that's the thing. One Battle and Sinners both have multiple nominations for its cast.
Yes. Kind of surprised Sentimental Value didn't make an appearance here.
That's true. That's a good point.
Because that's another one where all 4 of the leads have a nomination.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
Well, that's not true. Wait, hold on.
No, you're right. There's 4 people nominated from.
Okay, Renata Rensviv was. Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure. Go ahead.
Listen, I don't think there's a single person that misses in Sinners. I think every person that has a line in Sinners has a line in Sinners. From major character to minor character. The little girl that learns how to bargain with smoke.
Correct.
Everybody hits in that movie.
I'm going to meet you. I think the exact same thing in One Battle. And I think you look at the entire cast, like leading cast of that movie with nominations.
Sure.
Unfortunately, plus Chase Affinity, why she didn't get nominated. We'll talk about that at a later date. But you also look at the interrogator.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they brought in an actual interrogator to come in and like play that scene, he adds to the tension of that.
Totally. I agree.
think everyone in that movie is firing on all cylinders, like even the smaller parts, to your point, like Sinners. So to this point, look, let's look at what we've talked about so far. With the nominations that we've talked about, from here, I'm seeing at least 4, 5 wins that we're predicting for Sinners. Mm-hmm. And we're getting to like the final like 10 nominees. So at this point, is there momentum? Are we voting in momentum because we're excited about Sinners? Not we, you, and I, but like the Academy. Is
Right.
that what's happening? So does that bring on the sweep? Does that invite a sweep? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I don't think it's going to be a sweep, but I do think that it's going to lean more towards Sinners.
Yeah. The thing is, I think that if Sinners takes this, I think this is the sweep.
Really?
I do.
So.
I think that if we get to this point of the night and we're at 5 or 6 wins for Sinners, everyone's like, oh, wow. Especially when like we talk about makeup what is it? It was costume design. Sinners taking that over Frankenstein. We've talked this entire race about how Frankenstein was designed for the below the line nominations. And when we see Sinners taking some of those below the line nominations from it, I think that's momentum. And that is a bit of a sweep. So I think this one, casting, is kind of that's before we get to like directing, acting, best picture.
Yeah.
So I do think that if Sinners takes this one, which I don't agree with you on, or sorry, don't disagree with you on. Well, maybe both. I don't disagree with you on. I do think it's indicative of a sweep. So I'll say this. Right now, it's 50-50.
Yeah.
For me, it's 50-50 One Battle, Sinners, because I think what I can say about Sinners, I can say the same thing about One Battle.
Can you name a character in Sinners that did not cook with their one line?
I thought that Preacher Boy's father was fine.
Okay.
See, that's the thing. I can't say anything bad about anyone because everyone's good. But
Right.
the same thing about One Battle. There's not one character that I'm like, oh, they didn't really nail their line.
The cop that pulls over Benicio del Toro.
Oh no, that's great because she has like this soft little like she's matching his softness is great. Okay. But also I think about the nurse that helps Bob break out of the hospital when she has that little like you're diabetic, right? Like nodding her head, like just that little bit. Like it's so good. And I think about all the kids, like even the kids when they're like, "What do I look like? Your daddy or your parents?" He's like, "Kinda." Like great little delivery. And like it's like they know they're in a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, but they're like 18. So yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Look, here's
honestly,
the thing.
You know what I'm not against? I'm not against us going different ways here, and then one of us is right.
That's kind of what I was about to say. I feel like the way anybody doing these predictions is going to go, they're either going to lean towards Sinners or they're going to lean towards One Battle.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a Sinners guy. Huh?
Clip that.
Yeah.
Clip that.
But
I'm a sinner, Dottie. A rebel. You know what? I'll run Oba. I'll let you run Sinners.
Cool.
I think one of us is right.
Yeah. And it's cool being right.
It is cool being right.
Moving forward to something that has absolutely nothing to do with anything we've been talking about up to this point. We have animated feature film. For that, we have Arco, Elio, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2.
How many of these have you not seen?
I've seen all of them.
You've seen all of them?
I have.
Okay, great. So do you feel like, not to give away the spoiler here, do you feel like having seen all of them changes who you think is going to win?
No.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Same.
I have not seen Arco. I've not seen Little Amelie or the character of Rain, but I have seen Elio, K-pop, and Zootopia 2.
Right. I think that the big competition here would be Zootopia 2. Of course, you've got the Disney picture that was promoted properly. R.I.P. Elio. But, Zootopia 2 is bringing in a ton of money still, I think.
You know what's so funny? I think Elio would be a very worthy advocate for or example of my Letterboxd system, where it would be like 2.5, maybe 3 stars, but I'd be like, oh,
yeah,
like fine, but okay.
Yeah, I think I gave it like 4 stars. I really liked Elio.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. I think that's my surprise. It's like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. It's just not, like Ratatouille. Like we're not in our classic Pixar. Hopefully we get there. We'll see.
Right.
Hoppers, we're looking at you. But I mean, do you want to rip off the Band-Aid on this one?
Yeah, but I want to be clear and say that I don't think it's like a clean rip.
Okay.
I think maybe it stings a little bit, and you're like, ow, that was my arm hair.
But you see the vision.
Right, yeah. I think that Zootopia 2 has just made so much money that it might have that going for it. However, K-pop Demon Hunters.
Phenomenon.
Yeah. Zootopia 2 is not getting a Criterion release.
It's not, no. Wow, can you imagine? It's just the Shining sequence from the movie.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, it's K-pop Demon Hunters. I mean, all the way. I have zero hesitation with that. I agree. I think Zootopia 2 was a huge surprise, mostly because Disney does not historically have the best luck with their sequels. At least their animated sequels. Well, actually, sequels in general. But animated sequels, certainly. Zootopia 2, a nice exception to the rule. So I'm happy that being second place, but I'm interested in Arco and Little Amelie. So I will write down K-pop.
Same. You want to take the next one?
I will take the next one. It's very gracious of you. Directing. Pretty big stakes here. So for Hamnet, we have Chloe Zhao, Marty Supreme, Josh Safdie. One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson. Perhaps you've heard of him. Sentimental Value, Joachim Trier. Sinners, Ryan Coogler. Oh, boy. Look, I'm unwavering. It's Paul Thomas Anderson.
All right, here's the thing. I cannot express how much I enjoyed Sinners. On a second watch,
Sure.
After that third watch, it's just like, give it everything. I would love to see Ryan Coogler win this award. He is so deserving of it.
I understand, and I kind of agree, and he will be there. He will be on stage accepting for directing at some point. Maybe it'll be on March 15th. Who's to say? I'm about to say. But I think that where One Battle is going to clean up is when they can have Paul Thomas Anderson on stage.
Sure.
I think when they can have PTA on stage and talk about this movie is when they really want to celebrate One Battle After Another. So that's why I think nominations like directing, like best writing, perhaps Best Picture, is where we will see Paul Thomas Anderson on stage. So I am unwavering, especially with how many awards he has won recently for Best Directing, that it is going to be PTA. But I will agree with you that this is another like really close potential 50-50 between him and Coogler. But with that said, I don't want this to be a scenario where the only thing we ever look at when we look back on 2026 is, well, it was Oscar or One Battle versus Sinners. Hamnet, probably my favorite Chloe Zhao movie so far.
I agree.
Like, Chloe Zhao did a great job on this. It really was. Steven Spielberg nailed it when he said, like, there is no other director who could probably balance the sensibility of, you know, grounded nature versus, like, you know, to the earth, more witchy connections. Witchy doesn't feel right, but mystical connections. Josh Safdie, proving that he has the more saftiness between him and his brother, I suppose, in directing style, by having Marty Supreme. It's a perfect textbook in anxiety and stress is Marty Supreme. And sentimental value. I mean, Joachim Trier, like, the worst person in the world, something I've yet to see, but I know you've seen, so you can speak to it. The popularity and the admiration for that movie, you're at the sophomore slump. Like, this is the perfect tee up for you to not make a movie, or for you to make a movie that does not get the kind of admiration that your previous feature got. And somehow it's getting more.
Yeah.
So that's not like, it's not something you shouldn't balk at. Like, you should be very proud of this. And I loved sentimental value. Not evidenced by my top 10 list, but it is incredible. And I love this movie. It might be one of my favorites that we've talked about here. But it really is between Coogler and Paul Thomas Anderson. But for me, it's a very easy Paul Thomas Anderson win.
Yeah, and my whole lead up of I love Sinners, I really want to see him win. I also wrote Paul Thomas Anderson.
Okay.
I think that this is one of those scenarios as well where Paul Thomas Anderson has shown up so many times to the Oscars. This is his Revenant Leo moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. And that's almost exactly what I meant. Where, like, I know Ryan Coogler will be on stage for direction at some point, and they're potentially gonna do the same thing with Timmy and Leo, where it's like, hey man, you are gonna be up here, just keep at it. But Leo, get on stage, brother.
Right.
So we'll see what that happens, and we'll get there in just a second. But also, Ryan Coogler, just an idea. If you do want to be predicted to win Best Directing, maybe throw in your middle initial there, so I can write your 3 initials like I am for PTA. Maybe that's more appealing.
That could be it.
That could be it. Maybe that's the problem.
RC Cola, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Do they still make that?
I think they stopped production in 95, but they're still out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're still out there. It's just remnants that you can still buy.
Yeah, that's
Great.
RC Cola. Hey, you know what? Maybe the next sponsor for the pod can be Dr. Thunder.
Maybe.
Watch out.
If you're listening out there, Doctor,
I feel like this is going to...
That's their slogan.
I feel like calling out Dr. Thunder on the podcast is like, that's going to cut to like a Evil Dead type like hand coming out of the ground. Like, we've been awoken.
10 years from now, it'll finally show up and be like, I'm here.
Is that the podcast that woke up the evil spirit of Dr. Thunder? That's us. All right. Do you want to take the next one?
Actress in a supporting role. We have Elle Fanning in Sentimental Value, Inga Ibsdottir Lilius in Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan in Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku in Sinners, and Tiana Taylor in One Battle After Another.
A little bit of insight to this.
Uh-oh.
We have had multiple wins for multiple people in this category for previous awards. Or I should say previous academies, right? So like British Film Awards, the BAFTAs is what I'm referring to, Critics' Choice, Golden Globes. Like, we've seen multiple people pick up the wins here.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I'm talking about Inga Ibsdottir Lilius, Amy Madigan, and Tiana Taylor. Wunmi Mosaku and Tiana Taylor. They've all won separate nominations or separate awards for this exact category.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting one. Normally you can look at and say, well, there's popularity around this person and we're seeing a lot of interest there. This is kind of split. And I do think, unfortunately, that Amy Madigan is seen in 4th place here. But I want to point out again that this and supporting actor are the two awards that start the show. So this is to set the tone. Now, that doesn't mean to set the tone for what movie is going to win, but to set the tone of, like, are you going to see what you expect? Are you going to see surprises? Are there going to be upsets? That's where this kicks in. So I don't want to rule out an Amy Madigan win. I think an Amy Madigan win is possible here. And I'm not saying that's my pick, but I just want to say this is like this being the first nomination that's talked about at the awards, there's a real possibility.
No, I agree with you. This is probably the most difficult category I've looked at so far.
I think my heart is pushing Inga Ipsdotter Lilius. I think she does the best work. Do I want to say that? The best work of the 4 nominations for sentimental value? I think Stellan Skarsgård, I know. And that's the only person I'm thinking of. Like, Stellan's doing some great stuff there too. But okay, you know what? I feel more comfortable saying this. She's the breakout. She is the breakout of sentimental value.
Sure.
You expect a little bit from Elle Fanning. You expect a bit from Stellan Skarsgård. Whether you're familiar with her or not, knowing that she's worked previously with Joachim Trier, you expect a little bit more from, not more, but you expect a performance from Renata Rensve. But Inga Opstetter Lilius does come out of nowhere and wrecks you in that movie. So I think I'm going to lean her. But I do see a Wunmi Masako win, especially if Sinners continues to pick up the way we suspect it will. And Teyana Taylor. I think she does great work in that movie, but she's not on screen quite as much.
Yeah. I am so lost at what to choose here.
Because you feel like your heart's telling you Wunmi Masako because you love Sinners so much, right?
This is true.
And she's good in the movie. I just don't think she's like, you can't take your eyes off Wunmi Masako.
I couldn't. On my third watch, I was like,
well, I mean, she's beautiful. There's that. But like, I think it's a good performance. I don't think it's quite a great character.
don't talk to him. You're talking to me right now.
That is, I do love that line.
Power.
Yeah.
Oh man. Do I put Wunmi? Okay. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna put Wunmi Masako.
Okay. I'm gonna put down Inga Ipsdotter Lilius.
Okay. Next.
Knowing
category.
us, it's gonna be Teyana Taylor.
Yeah, I know. Elle Fanning's gonna show up and be like, "Thanks, guys."
We're actually splitting the award between Elle Fanning, Amy Madigan, and Teyana Taylor. Whoever Ryan and Kyle did not vote for.
Yep.
Amy Madigan, though, I will be delighted to be wrong. Actually, I'll go ahead and say I'm probably delighted to be wrong about any of these.
They were all fantastic.
Because they were all fantastic. You're absolutely right. But Amy Madigan, there's definitely the lizard brain in me is like, I want weapons to get a win, and I want Amy Madigan to accept the award.
You are a big weapons guy.
Hold on. Again, I'm a big 2025 Zach Kreger masterpiece, The Weapons. Leave it at that. Okay, let's go with actor in a supporting role.
Cool.
I forgot who did what. I'll go. Benicio del Toro in One Battle After Another. Jacob Elordi in Frankenstein. Delroy Lindo in Sinners. Sean Penn in One Battle After Another. And Stellan Skarsgård in Sentimental Value. I'm taking your pattern.
Thank you.
Look, I want to go ahead and say it. I don't think Delroy Lindo is going to get the win here. I do appreciate his nomination and watching his performance again last night. If we were talking about the most comedic performance, I think he's taking it. Specifically, there's a bit where when Stack first meets with Delta Slim, Delroy Lindo's character, he threatens him a little bit, and Delroy Lindo puts up his fists to kind of fight. And he's making what I can only assume to be gremlin noises. Where he's like putting his fists up. And he's just absolutely cooking in this movie. But to your point, he has a scene where he talks about like they just passed like a field with workers. And he talks about like what his experience was. And that culminates in him like just making these noises that turns into a song. Great performance. And he allows the movie to make him the butt of the joke in some scenario. Not the butt of the joke, but like the humor, the comic relief. Again, that really impressive camera work that results or ends with the turn to Delroy Lindo's character and him being like, "Oh, he busy, huh?" Like great line and great
so
little
funny.
cut. So he is great in that movie. But with that said, I think One Battle, unfortunately, Sean Penn and Benicio del Toro probably going to counteract each other. And I think anyone who wants to vote for One Battle is probably going to split those two, so they're not going to get the most votes.
Yeah.
I do think I'm leaning Stellan.
Yeah, I'm going to put Stellan Skarsgård.
I think Sean Penn isn't out of the realm of possibility. He just won at the BAFTAs, I think, for Best Supporting.
Right.
It may not be the BAFTAs, but he did just win for Best Supporting. So I think there's a chance, and we know how much the Academy loves a villainous character.
They do.
So could be him, but I want to say it's Stellan in his time.
Man, I would love to see Delroy Lindo win. But I'm putting Stellan as well.
Stellan. All right. We're on our final 3 nominations.
Actress in a leading role.
Love how you kind of did a pizza flex there a little bit.
Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue. Renate Rienza in Sentimental Value. And Emma Stone in Begonia.
Oh God, I'm not gonna let you skip past the intonation that you put on that. If I had legs, I'd kick you. So okay,
Have you seen all these performances?
I have not seen If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Okay.
But I feel like this is one of those rare performances and rare movies that I've heard so much about that I'm like, that counts. Like,
Right.
I think I know. I've heard brilliant. And if we want to be so honest with ourselves, probably second place, Rose Byrne. I would like to consider her in third because I really, really enjoyed Renate Reinsve in Sentimental Value. But, I mean, look, let's go ahead and do this. Emma Stone, kind of crazy that she's nominated for Best Actress here, and we're not even remotely thinking about, okay, could it be you?
That is crazy.
So kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Because she was great in Begonia.
And she's Emma Stone.
She's Emma Stone. Renate Reinsve has such an important task in Sentimental Value, and she crushes it very subtly too. So she's amazing in that movie. Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, and then you have Rose Byrne in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. No, Kate Hudson was very good, and I actually very much enjoyed her performance. But I mean, you were thrown to the wolves, my girl. Like, this is a tough category.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think she's deserving. Hey, real quick, you know who I really liked in Song Sung Blue? Their daughter.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
She's so good in that movie, and I think that it is not fantastic. I was going to say fantastic. It is wild that she didn't get a supporting actress nomination.
This is where I think we need that we need an award called like the who is that guy?
Yeah.
Like, we need that award.
Wait a minute.
It's one word. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great call. No, she's great in it. And I thought she had a lot of the heavy lifting to do.
Yeah.
Like, Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson were very good.
Hugh Jackman's fine.
You don't have a problem with that movie. I'm just going to go it out right. I can't talk about Song Sung Blue any other way. So there's a moment in the movie where Hugh Jackman says, like, oh, I don't sound like Neil Diamond. I don't look like Neil Diamond. And in the theater, it's like, yes, you do. It's like, you absolutely look like Neil Diamond, and you sound just like him. What are you talking about? So that took me out of the movie a little bit. I was like, come on, man. But Kate Hudson, she is doing really great work in that. It's just kind of like that movie is all over the place. Rose Byrne, I've heard great things about. What are we doing?
It's Jessie
Jessie Buckley. Yeah, it's all the way Jessie Buckley.
And I think everybody agrees.
Like, this is the movie that I would like, or this is the category that I would put my house on. Like, it's Jessie Buckley all the way.
I cannot wait until you ask me to move in because we're both wrong.
Oh, I was about to say, why would I ask you to move into my house? But I understand.
Yeah.
I'd ask you to move in.
I just didn't make any crazy bet like my home, so I'll still be here.
I told you I'm going to the casino, so I'm
Oh, that's right.
I'm ready to go. Dude, what if I go to the casino and they're like, hey, sir, what would you like? I'm like, $1,000 on Jessie Buckley winning Best Actress. They're like, we don't do that.
And then they're like, it goes to Emma.
Unless Jessie Buckley is in the March Madness brackets, we don't think you can do that here, sir.
Yeah. She slam dunked that role, I'll tell you what.
Hey, you know what? Can you imagine any better song set to Hamnet than If You Want to Slam, Then Welcome to the Jam?
I love that.
If you want to slam. Can you imagine her accepting the award?
And that plays.
Hamnet's playing it. Hamnet in the background crying. And she just walks up on stage.
And it's like, hey, you what you want to do? Hey, you.
Yeah, exactly. We found love in a hopeless place. That was for Bryce and no one else. Like, I don't think anyone else gets that reference.
That's for all the Looney Tune fans. Are you kidding?
No, do you know what I'm referring to when I mention love in a hopeless place?
No.
So on the set of Hamnet, it was reported that in order to lift up spirits and everything, they all danced to Rihanna's We Found Love in a Hopeless Place.
Oh.
I guess it's just called We Found Love, but yeah.
I had no idea.
Love. We can't afford the trademark.
Yeah, we can't sing. We're already struck from Train Dreams. So...
Oh man, Train Dreams is gonna follow us forever. I'm so proud of that.
Forever.
Train Dream. Actor in a leading role. Let's go ahead and go through this list. Timothy Chalamet and Martin Supreme. That was unintentional, but I'm keeping it. Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another. Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Rat Boy himself. Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, and Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent. This one, I don't know, man. I straight up don't know. I think the easiest thing to go with is Timmy's going to take it. But I think if you really want to keep things interesting, if you want to keep things a little funky, I think Leo.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan, here's the thing. Michael B. Jordan is incredible in Sinners. And we talked about how he's technically playing 4 different roles at different times. And I really, say what you will about Blue Moon, I really enjoyed Ethan Hawke's performance
in
Blue Moon. In a similar That's Cool way, Wagner Moura was in The Secret Agent. I don't think either of us really saw what was going on with that.
Yeah.
With that nomination, but he's good. It's really down to Timmy and Leo in this, and I think Timmy is doing. I think he has the better character, but he's young, and the Academy doesn't always reward. We'll talk about this with the 1931 Academy Awards, but it doesn't always reward the younger generation. It makes it makes them feel like they have to earn it, right?
You sometimes you got to cry over a dead dog,
or a not really dead dog.
Right.
We'll get there. What an insane cliffhanger for everyone to hold on to.
Stay tuned for next week's episode. Dude, again, I want so bad to see Michael B. Jordan win.
That would be dope. I don't think it's the time.
I don't think so either. I cannot get over his performance as Smoke and Stack in Sinners. It's so good.
I will say that the biggest upset of the night is probably going to be if Michael B. Jordan takes it over Timothée Chalamet and Leo.
That is so interesting. I'm starting to think that people don't like Timothée Chalamet.
Well, you're not. I understand what you're saying there, but I think you have to look at the fact that he at the DGAs accepted an award and was getting a lot of compliments and applause, standing up. And well, I guess the word I'm looking for is
standing ovation.
Thank you. A standing ovation for his performance and him accepting the award. So I think that's what people are that's who's voting.
Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be Timmy. I understand what you're saying, and I see people saying that, but I think it's going to be Timmy. And if people don't want to vote for Timmy because they don't like him, I think they're immediately going to Leo.
That's fair. I'm sorry I got so hung up on you saying applauding standing up. That was very funny to me.
Well, look, sometimes me no word's good.
I want that to be a reoccurring thing on the podcast. I want to be everybody
Standing
give
up, applauding.
a applaud standing up for Ryan
In the use of words.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be worthy.
Listen, I'm going to put Leo.
Oh.
And that's mostly because I think people are starting to not like Timmy. I'm going to stand by that. I don't know if that's true. Maybe I'm starting to not like Timmy. I don't know. That thing he did with Matthew McConaughey,
Yeah.
that kind of annoyed me. And if I was a voting member as of 2 days ago at the time of this recording when Oscar nominations opened up, I'd be like, I didn't like that.
I have written down a name.
Which name is it, Ryan?
I'm trying to decide if I want to tell you.
Well, you have to.
I have to.
We're
You're
recording
right.
a podcast.
I've written down Timothée Chalamet.
Okay.
And the reason why is that I'm not betting my house on this.
Okay.
So I'm literally not losing anything. And
Yeah.
I'd like for the podcast to be right. So it's going to be one of these two. I'm very confident of that. So happy to see. I got to tell you, I do wish that Timothée Chalamet was nominated for his performance in Sinners, because I think that would make this conversation much more interesting.
If
He wasn't in Sinners. I'm saying I wish he was in Sinners
I
for this
see.
performance, so we could talk about it's going to be Timmy because it's Sinners.
Yeah.
But Martin Supreme isn't getting nominated for anything else, or sorry, winning for anything else.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We have not anticipated that it's going to win any of these nominations that it's been nominated
That's
for.
true.
So
What a record that
to me,
could have.
exactly.
of
If you're
losses.
hey, only one win, and it's for Best Actor
Or none.
or none. So there's really no way to tell. It's going to be one of the two. I'll say this. I hope you're right. I would love to see Leo take the win for this because I think he deserves the win.
Yeah.
But I also think Timmy deserves the win. So it's an interesting, domino effect of what happens in the future. We'll see.
Sure.
We'll see. And let's go with the final one. And Kyle, would you like to take us home?
For the 98th Academy Awards Best Picture nominees, we have
Do you want me to sing Train Dreams while you're doing it?
just quietly in the background Begonia, F1,
I can't keep it up. Go ahead.
Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams.
So we're between two, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. It's a toss-up between One Battle and Sinners, like so many of these categories have been so far. Are you a One Battle guy or are you a Sinners guy? Beatles or Elvis?
You know what I would say? I would say, are you a One Battle guy or are you a Sinners girly?
I'm a Sinners girly.
I think, I get it. I understand. And I think when you look at the amount of categories that we're projecting Sinners to win versus projecting Oba to win, I think it makes sense that Sinners could take the win on this just because, hey, look, you got the majority of the nominations. However, with all of the other award shows that have come out, Best Picture has been taken by One Battle. So I don't suspect that's going to change, and I'm going Oba.
Paul Thomas Anderson is going to win the Best Director award.
And Best Adapted Screenplay.
Yep, and historically, those go hand in hand. with Best Picture.
I agree.
Something like 4 times or 5 times in history that's not lined up. This is going to be one of those where it lines up. I would love to see Sinners win, but I think this is going to be PTA's year for actually winning awards. And One Battle is one of them for Best Picture.
I think you're right. I think you're it. So let's go down our list.
Yeah, go ahead and go through your list, and we'll kind of just speed run through it so
Cool.
we're not...
Sounds good. For writing original screenplay, I have Sinners. Writing adapted screenplay, I have One Battle After Another. Visual effects, Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Sound, F1, Vroom Vroom. Short film, live action, I have Two People Exchanging Saliva. I didn't write that whole name down, so I was just guessing the rest of it. I hope that's right.
You nailed it.
Short film, animated, I have The Three Sisters.
Copycat.
Production design, Frankenstein. I like how that worked
Yeah,
out. That
that
was
was
my
good.
own little Rob Zombie song. Original song, Golden. Next time I'm going to nominate myself for that Rob Zombie line I just did. Original score, Sinners. Makeup, hairstyling, Frankenstein. International feature, Sentimental Value. Film editing, One Battle After Another. Documentary short subject, The Devil is Busy. Looks like the deal is busy. Documentary feature, The Perfect Neighbor. Costume design, Sinners. Cinematography, Sinners. Casting, One Battle After Another. Animated K-pop, Demon Hunters. Directing, I have Paul Thomas Anderson, PTA himself. Supporting actors, I have Inga Ipsdotter Lilius. Supporting actors, Stellan Skarsgård. Actress, Jessie Buckley. Actor, Timothée Chalamet. And Best Picture, One Battle After Another.
And now my speed run. Adapted screenplay, One Battle After Another. Original screenplay, Sinners. Visual effects, Avatar, Fire, and Ash. Sound, Sinners. Animated short, The Three Sisters. Live action short, Two People Exchanging Saliva. Production design, Frankenstein.
Be my...
Original score, Sinners. Original song, Golden for K-pop Demon Hunters. Makeup and hairstyling, Sinners. International feature, Sentimental Value. Film editing, One Battle After Another. Documentary feature, Come See Me in the Good Light. Documentary short, The Devil is Busy. Costume design, Sinners. Cinematography, Sinners. Casting, Sinners. Animated feature, K-pop Demon Hunters. Directing, Paul Thomas Anderson. Supporting actress, Wunmi Misako. Supporting actor, Stellan Skarsgård. Lead actress, Jessie Buckley. Lead actor, Leonardo DiCaprio. And Best Picture, One Battle After Another.
I'm very happy with the work we did today.
I am too. I'm tired.
Sleepy.
Yeah, I had 2 waffles like 2 hours ago, and I'm like, I
Right
need
in
more
front of
waffles.
me, by the way.
I offered a waffle.
No. I don't mean in the sense of like, why would you do this on the day of my daughter's wedding? I meant like, you looked me dead in the eyes and ate a waffle.
Yeah.
Like, that's like we were sitting across from each other and you ate a waffle. 2 waffles. Well, you know what it felt like? It felt like Inglourious Bastards.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
I think it was the accusatory 2 waffles. God, you're like red in the face. This is great.
Yeah, I did eat 2 waffles.
You know what? It was also a very musical episode between Train Dreams and my Be My
Yeah.
My Frankenstein.
Be my production design.
Production design Frankenstein.
Okay, let me
We're
throw this out
copywritten.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Go ahead.
What do you expect a controversy this year?
Kinda.
Like, what are you thinking? Just throw out something random for me. And to be clear, I'm not saying like, oh, so-and-so won over so-and-so, controversy. I'm saying, do you think somebody is going to like spit on somebody in the audience, or like, I don't know, leave popcorn in somebody's seat for them to sit on and be like, hee hee hee?
I'm sure something like that's going to happen, but what I think is going to happen in terms of controversy, and not just like an upset, but like controversy, is I think if they give Timothée Chalamet the win for Best Actor,
Yeah.
I could see him like scorched earth, being like, this is never going to happen again. Like being like, suck it, suck it, suck it, like to the other nominees.
Yeah, you
he's
think?
not going to do that. But I could see him kind of like Marty Supreming a little too hard to the sun.
Sure.
And like taking the award and being like, thanks, I deserve this. And like leaving. And I could see a little bit of like, oh, that guy's never coming back.
I would love to see him like Joe Pesci.
Like, I don't think he's going to lose and like scorched earth.
Right.
That's not him. I could see him like, I finally got it.
Yeah.
And like, now what are you going to do with this thing you've been chasing for so long? That's what I'm interested in seeing.
Maybe he'll retire and go raise his kid, you know?
And you know what? At the end of the day, everybody does want to rule the world.
It's true. It's true.
No.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how it plays out. I think last year we had a pretty uncontroversial award ceremony.
Pretty tame.
If anything, you had Adrian Brody maybe talking a little too much, being a little annoying, but
Which he is known to do.
Sure. Beyond that, I guess we'll see. But there you go.
I'm excited. We'll be back to cover it with everything that happened.
Yep.
So I'm very excited for that.
Expect that episode that will come out Monday, March 16th. I forgot the date. It's going to be late in the day. It'll probably come out that evening, unfortunately, with the way things go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We did our predictions. I'm excited. We'll see who wins. We'll be doing kind of like a predictions thing in the Discord as well, if you guys want to check that out. Again, head to patreon.com/OUTAO podcast to participate in that predictions and Oscar. What do you call that? Oscar ballot? What? What is that called?
I had an answer for you. I was just waiting to see where you got with that. Oscar ballot.
Okay, yeah. So if you want to participate in that, do that. But also, if you just want to shoot us, your own predictions via email, you can do that through outaopodcast@gmail.com. And stay tuned.
I'm very excited. Yeah. Train dreams. I don't know how to send this.
This is a long episode, though, so we're going to go ahead and head out, and we'll be back Monday with the ceremony coverage.
We'll see you then.
As always, I'm your host, Kyle.
I'm Ryan.
And we'll see you at the movies.